Neil, what are you doing?
I'm trying to get in. It's locked. It's really frustrating. Have you ever had things that you can't get into? I remember when I was growing up as a kid, football was a boys' sport. It was a man's game. There was a girl at our youth group at the church who was really good at football, but she had to play for a team miles away in Kent because there weren't any decent girls' teams around here. My wife played football for a bit to play a team sport, and they had to drive all over the place to play games because even just 5 years ago there were so few women's football teams. My eldest daughter Megan played football as well, not much at school, and the team she played for, some of the girls were only doing it because they were doing Duke of Edinburgh and they had to do a sport, and she was frustrated at the level of enthusiasm that people didn't have. What role have we played in football as men and as boys in keeping women out? I'm encouraged that in America it's the fastest growing sport amongst girls. But let's move away from football, because not all of us like that. What other things, what other places, what other hobbies are we banned from or excluded from because of our gender? Maybe some of us blokes out there would love to be a chef, but the way we were brought up and the way our family operated made it really clear that the kitchen is for mum and the girls, and so we've never had that courage to step out and see if we could be one of those brilliant chefs in the world. I loved it that my son Noah did street dance when he was growing up, that he did something that so often has been associated with women or extremely talented men in very tight tights, but he did something to break those gender boundaries. There are some things that men might be better at than women, and there are some things that women are better at than men, but we don't need to tell each other that, do we? We don't need to rub each other's noses in it. Let's explore those things that were gender specific in the past and see if there's something that we might be really good at. Jesus was always one for breaking boundaries. Jesus was always one for saying, look, you think it's this way, and you've been told by culture and by the law and by your leaders that you should do it like this. But I tell you another way. He's always saying that. You have heard it said, blah, 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 but I tell you, blah, blah, blah. You have heard it said to do this, but I'm telling you there's a different way. Jesus always looked for creative ways of doing things, of breaking those boundaries, of blurring those edges. I'm really proud, I mean that in a good way, to be part of a church, Tonbridge Baptist Church, where we attempt to hold women as equally as we hold men, where we have women who lead sung worship, who lead services, we have women who preach, we have women on our leadership team, we have women who are trustees, we have women who lead our children's work and our youth groups, we have women who cook in the kitchen, we have women who lead us in all kinds of things, and we have men who do the same. And I'm proud to be amongst a bunch of blokes who roll up their sleeves and get involved. TBC strives to be a church where there is neither male and female, but all are one in Christ Jesus. And we remove those barriers that get in the way.